my favorite organizations anymore is Project 21. The reason being is there's this shift right now away from the progressives, away from the Democrat Party, because the Democrat Party has forgotten about the folks. Has for a long time, in my opinion, but black voters, Hispanic voters shifting away from Democrats to conservative principles and realizing, well, I've been a conservative my whole life, but I was told I was a Democrat. But they learn and they go, oh, and the light goes on and boom. Donna Jackson serves as the Director of Membership Development for the Project 21 Black Leadership Network. It's a conservative network. Donna, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Greatly appreciate you being here. All right, so critical race theory. Obviously, it took center stage in Virginia, as did parents who were marginalized by the Democrat candidate for governor there, who said parents have no role in discussing what's being taught in the classroom. Clearly not true. Critical race theory, whether they call it critical race theory or they hide it under 100 other names, which is really what happens. Well, we don't teach critical race theory. You do, but you just call it something else, right? That's what's happening in so many places today, correct?
Absolutely. Critical race theory not only is being taught in the classroom, it's infiltrating all of American institutions. You see it in corporate America. You see it in the military. It's everywhere, and it's all the time. And it's even getting in the church, which is very dangerous. Critical race theory is a Marxist ideology that's really about expanding the overreach of the government. And it's about marginalizing people. It's about dividing people and really tearing down everything that makes America great.
I agree with that, with everything you said there. But there is I do believe, a realignment here. I believe that it's entirely possible, if not likely at this point, that the Democrat Party will go the way of the Whigs, the Whig Party of 1860, because the Democrat Party has marginalized themselves so almost completely during this pandemic. And all of these other things, defund the police. Boy, that's been a real winner for communities of color, right? I mean, people have been terrorized in their own neighborhoods because the police left. You've got promises made and promises broken for my entire life to communities of color. You've got all of these things, and now they want to pit white kids against black kids, against Hispanic kids, against Asian kids. It is not what America is. How about we have American kids? How about that?
That would be so much better. Listen, they want to sell you on this notion that America is so racist and that the whole system needs to be torn down. But yet we have 2 million people that has crossed the border illegally just since Biden's been in office because they're trying to get to America. And those immigrants that are coming into this country are people of color. So if they're saying that our system is so broken and is so racist, why are so many people trying to get into this country and leave their own countries where socialism and Marxism is already in force? These people are just demonic, and the liberals are losing the battle. The pandemic and the lockdowns were bad, but I think the reality that set in with most Americans is that they saw for the first time what the Liberal Party is really about. And that was a good thing.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't even want to call them the Liberal Party anymore, because these are not classic liberals. Liberals actually believe in the freedom of speech and the defense of the nation. These are progressives. These are, as you put it earlier, Donna, these are Marxists. That's what we're dealing with. People that want to divide us by every possible distinction, whether it's the way we look, by our gender, whatever it may be. Divide and conquer. That's what these people want to do, and they've tried their level best to get there. Let me ask you about something else that's in the headlines that I find as offensive as anything I've seen recently. I'd like you to weigh in on this. We learned here in the last couple of days that the Biden administration plans to spend $30 million to buy crack pipes for racial equity in America. They want to hand out crack pipes or meth pipes or whatever you want to call it so that we have racial equity in America. And I'm like, what the hell are they talking about?
Well, The Biden administration wants a permanent underclass. And so they're doing everything they can to destroy the communities, whether it's saying that we're too stupid to get an ID card, whether it's building public housing and projects that people wanted to get away from, taking away childcare from the communities and putting it in the hands of the teachers union. And then now this putting crack pipes, well, they want to put crack pipes in there because they want drugs to flow in there so that they can make sure that they have a class of people that are dependent on the government and that they can't make decisions for themselves. So I'm not surprised that he's doing this. He realizes that in our border, we're importing more drugs than we've ever had in this country, and he wants to continue that so that he can destroy our community and stay in power.
And that's just, I mean, that is, you said demonic. I think that would be the accurate term. That's evil. If that really is the plan, that's evil, Donna, and there's no two ways around it. Donna Jackson from Project 21 here. I think there's a huge reckoning coming on the 8th of November. I believe that we've seen the numbers swing, black voters supporting conservative candidates. And I'm not saying Republican candidates, I'm saying conservative candidates, because rhinos are just as dangerous in the wild as are these pretend Democrats, right? Oh. So I think there's a reckoning coming. I'll give you 20 seconds for the last word. Tell me what you think.
I absolutely feel that way. Actually, right now, this administration only has 56% of support from the black community. That's unheard of for a progressive liberal candidate. The shift is happening, and we are going to see more conservatives forever, and that's a good thing.
Donna Jackson, you come back anytime.
Absolutely.
I like your smile, and I like Project 21. That's why you folks are on here all the time. Greatly appreciate your message. It's one of hope and one of the future, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.